Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining this webinar today. I welcome you all for this webinar, which is based on job readiness opportunities for Canada. So we are just waiting for like 3-4 minutes more, and we will be having more audience joining in, and then we'll start our webinar for today. Also, we will be having Mr. Chandra Madan, who is the founder and CEO of Nursify, who will be addressing and who is the guest for today's webinar. And he will be guiding you all with the job readiness opportunity for Canada itself. So yeah, let's just wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start the webinar for today. So before we start this webinar, everyone, I would request you all to please place yourself on mute. And in case if you have any questions, kindly place them in the chat box. And we will be taking all of your questions one by one from the chat box. It can be during the webinar or by end of the webinar. So I really appreciate everyone being present here. So thank you so much, everyone, once again. So we have Mr. Chandamadan over here. Hello, sir. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello. So, sir, I was just the audience about a few rules before we start the webinar. So just everyone, I request you to please place yourself on mute during this webinar. And in case if you have any questions, please place yourself on mute and please place the questions in the chat box as well. And we will take it one by one. So we will start this webinar in like 4 to 5 minutes. We'll just have few more people joining in, and then we'll take this webinar, which is based for job opportunities and job readiness program for Canada. Thank you so much, everyone.
Che adianta faccio pe. Dottor da mani mamma.
All right, everyone, let's start this webinar for today. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today for the webinar, which is based on job readiness opportunities for Canada. Thank you so much, Chandra sir, for joining in today.
Thank you. Yeah.
So let's sir, quickly start this webinar with our first question. So, sir, to start with the webinar, I would like to ask you that what are the key opportunities available for nurses in Canada, and what makes Canada an attractive destination for healthcare professionals?
Yeah, I think if you look at, in general, globally, and in Canada, there is a very, very high demand for nurses. Um, we are experiencing a nationwide shortage due to the population that is aging. Um, and, you know, the it has, demand for registered nurses, licensed practitioner nurses, and the care home workers. So demand, because of all these reasons, definitely out there. And you know, Canada uh, provides a very, very lucrative pathway for um, you know nurses for them to become a PR. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity for nurses to work in Canada, because I think the initial visa process is very simple, and there are various programs, whether it is uh, healthcare visa program or preferential program for nurses to become PR, or the nomination program by various provinces. So there are number of opportunities from an immigration point of view for nurses to become PR under these programs. And you know the third thing, which is very, very important, is that the nurses will get a lot of opportunities for growth, right? So you can go in a registered nurse, but then um, you can also become a lead, or the lead nurse or nursing manager or a ward manager or theater if you're interested in theater. So there are plenty of growth opportunities for you, because um, the healthcare system requires there's a huge demand for nurses and the managers out there. So great demand um, due to the aging population. So whether you're a registered nurse or a care home worker or a licensed practical nurse, I think you will find a great opportunity. There are a number of immigration pathways available for you to become PR if you are from healthcare. I mean, specifically a nurse or a doctor or a healthcare worker. And there are tremendous opportunity for career growth for you to grow uh, in an international environment where the work-life balance and culture is pretty good. So I think that's why the opportunities, uh, you know, that I just highlighted makes Canada a very, very attractive destination for a lot of nurses. Hello?
Sorry. Great, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. So moving forward to our next question. So while planning for international destinations, candidates get really confused in what kind of settings they should go. So can you please explain our audience what type of setting where nurses can work in Canada, whether it's hospital, clinics, long-term cares, and how do these roles differ, or these places differ?
So, in any country, but I think Canada in particular, there are two or three kinds of different settings you can see. One, hospitals. I think there you'll find, acute care, medical, surgical ward, ICU, or as specialized areas like, uh, you know, theater for oncology or hemodialysis, for example. Uh, so hospital settings where you will find environment being very very fast paced and high pressure, and the skills that are required for you are advanced technical skills or a lot of experience from a hospital from worldwide or any of the hospitals across the globe. That will be very very useful in Canada. Second, you can go into clinics, a little different environment where it's a very very structured environment. It's very patient focused, and it could be outpatient, it could be assessments, it could be family medicine kind of environment. And the skills required for that is more preventive, right? It's not so much reactive. It's preventive healthcare, routine procedures. So that's about clinics. And the third, last but not the least, in fact, there are two more, long-term care. So, for example, these facilities are usually for elderly people who are probably in the golden years of their life and now want to really enjoy. They may not be sick, um, but they may require support of a nurse. So you could, it could be elderly care, it could be chronic illness, it could be anything, but the environment there is more structured schedule and very very patient. It's a lot more about compassion. It's a lot more about care. It's a lot more about courtesy towards these people. So um, the long term aged care it's like a care home environment where you may have people who are sick or people who are not sick, um, but very different skills are required. You need patience, you need empathy to be working in the care homes. And last but not the least, it's community health. So you will see opportunities in the public health or home care or in the health education. Um, it's very very autonomous and you know kind of easy goal style, um, and there you require uh, probably a lot more cultural sensitivity because you are working in the rural areas, in the community hospitals, and dealing with people who may not have access to large facilities hospitals. So I think three or four settings: hospital, clinics, long-term care, and community. Most people, most nurses will go for maybe start with long-term care and then uh, you know, uh, gradually move up to the hospitals. That's what usually happens. And I think that's probably a great idea for a lot of nurses to go like that. And so these are the kind of multiple settings. Um, Now, in some settings like hospitals, because of licensing requirements, you may have to do additional course from where your license is. Um, but in most situations, you know, where you're working with long-term care, you may not have to do uh, you know you may not need the license, and hence extra education may not be required. So I think it depends on your evaluation process, credentialing, etc. But these are the three or four settings one could look at. And I think in some of the care home or we call a personal support worker. That's the one more category. There you may not need a medical or healthcare experience as well. But generally, if you are going to any foreign country, it's better to have that healthcare experience. And in Canada, either go to hospital or long-term care. Sorry, that would be probably the most ideal scenario for most of the nurses.
Right. Great, sir. Thank you so much. I am sure this will be a great help to all the candidates who are planning to, work in different settings. And while we talk about working in different settings, there are certain challenges which, the candidates face. So, can you please throw some light on the challenges, key challenges nurses face when they are preparing to move to Canada, and how they can start preparing well in advance to face these kind of challenges?
Sure. So I think in moving to Canada, a couple of things, and these are probably challenges you will see all across the world. Number one is the cultural adaptation. I think most nurses from emerging markets like India, Philippines, Southeast Asia, Africa, maybe UAE, Caribbean countries are moving to the developed markets like UK, Australia, Canada. So I think the biggest probably challenge is the cultural adaptability. The way things work in your home country may be very different than, you know, uh, very different than what you will see in the Western world. So uh, the the best way to uh, the best way to adapt to the culture or to overcome this problem is, make sure. So agencies like, Nursify would train you on some of the cultural aspects, but I think look at the YouTube videos, maybe watch Canadian movies, and you will get a hang of it, right? So I think first one is a cultural one. Second, I I would say, broadly speaking, there's a relocation stress. What will happen if I go to a new country? For some of the people, I think this is the first time they're going to sit in the airplane as well, right? How do you travel internationally, right? What are the issues with immigration? What are the issues with how much foreign currency I should carry? How would I live there? What should I carry with me, right? So there's relocation stress. And again, Nursify is there to guide you through the process. So we will, of course, help you through the process, uh, both on the cultural aspects and secondly on the aspects of relocation as well. And so these are kind of softer side. I think the other, from a procedural point of view, what you will see, the two biggest challenges are licensing and uh, the credentialing. And licensing process, so right from uh, how what documents are necessary, how do I evaluate, how do I do credentialing. These are two big challenges that come through the process. And let me tell you, there's no rocket science, but what you need is a trusted partner like us, who would be able to help you through the process. So, for example, what document to load when you do licensing, right? For Canada. Um, how do you get the credentialing done? What's the step-by-step process? So we will make sure, our team will make sure that you follow the right step of the process to get the credentialing and licensing done in a way that will hit the mark on day one. Okay, so there is an NAS process, which is National Nurses Assessment Service. There is evaluation process which comes through CGFNS. But I think more importantly, you need to know um, what are the right documents, and our licensing expert and credentialing expert, and then we have a team of people who will help you with the interview as well. I think uh, Credentialing and licensing are a bit long drawn and complicated process where you would need an expert's help to make sure that you do it right. How can you overcome? I guess so. We are your partners. We'll be happy to help you, so you don't have to worry about it. First of all, I think there are challenges, but there are ways we can help you to get over those challenges. First of all, you don't have to worry. The Nursify team will be able to help you throughout the process. To make sure you have a right partner like Nursify to be able to set up the process in a flawless manner. Because imagine this is international, right? One mistake and you can be, you can regret for your whole life. So start the process early, start engaging the right partner, and make sure that you familiarize yourself with the Canadian practice, right? Of course, some of it you learn in intellects and all that, but I think, and of course, you have a partner like Nursify who can guide you through the process. Don't take it so easily, okay? Don't take it so lightly, rather. And because if you take it lightly, you're going to regret later why you did do that, okay? So I think two soft challenges, I would say, cultural and relocation stress, and two procedural challenges like licensing and cultural adaptation, I think licensing and credentialing are very, very important to overcome. Nursify is there to help you. Our team members are there to help you to run through this process. And, the sooner you do it, the better it is. Licensing process and credentialing process can take you as long as 6 months. And then on top of it, visa, immigration. So give and take, 6 to 9 months. I would say 9 months. It will take you to complete the process for Canada. Okay. And as I said, you need to have a right partner to make sure that you can do the process in a smooth manner, and reach out to us if you need any help, and we would be very, very happy to support that.
Thank you, sir. Very well said, sir. It is very important to understand and to know when a candidate should start the process, where to start, and how to start the process, because it's very important to make sure the timelines are intact, your experience is intact, and your qualifications are completely intact to start the process. So further to this answer, sir, I would like to ask you, like, how do Canadian healthcare employers view international experience, because it is very different from that of a domestic experience. So how can nurses showcase their qualification in such a way that they meet the local expectations of the employers?
Yeah, good question. So I think most of the Canadian hospital will value diversity, right? Meaning, if you're an international nurse from, let's say, any of the emerging markets, be it India, Philippines, or Southeast Asian countries, Indian subcontinent like Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, etc., I think they love the diversity that we bring in, right? That an international nurse will bring in. However, at the same time, they would have concerns around adaptability. Would you adapt to the harsh weather? Would you adapt to the culture? Would you adapt to the Canadian healthcare system? And I think one of the ways to overcome that is to give confidence during the interview by showcasing your examples, showcasing that you care, showcasing that you are empathetic, showcasing that you have done multiple kind of cases, diverse kind of cases all across the world, or at least in your home country. The process may be different, right, in Canada, but at least um, The important piece is that you are uh, able to demonstrate through your skills and certificates and for example, if you've done an ALS or a BLS, show those certificates. If you have taken care of some some patient in an impeccably patient-centric way, give those examples in your interviews. Um, Show them that you're going to be a great team player. Show that you're a fast learner, even though you are moving from one uh, even though you're moving from a different country, you will do very, very well. Okay. So, um, demonstrating that, uh, of course, diversity is valued, but so if you're a nurse from Nepal or India or Philippines or anywhere, I think they would have concerns that how will you adapt to Canada. But show them you are a fast learner. Show them you care for patients. You are empathetic, and by the way, you will pick up things very, very quickly once you land in Canada. Um, I can give you examples of a lot of nurses who went from Nepal to UK last year, and I'm telling you, they have done impeccably well over last couple of years. We have placed thousands of nurses in UK, and they've done very, very well. So, important thing is to showcase your uh, showcase your experience, showcase your certificate, showcase your capabilities, showcase your skill set so that they are more confident. Of course, they want you more than you want them. Of course, you want them as well because of money they offer, but they also want you because they don't have enough people. So I would say give them the confidence that you are the right person, um, and rest is taken care of, quite frankly. There's a question in the chat. I think maybe we
Yes,
should take
yeah,
that.
yes. Yeah. So Prakriti is asking, I'm an RN from Nepal. I have RN license of Nova Scotia, but couldn't get job via Indeed and LinkedIn. How can I apply for a job as an IN, which is internationally educated nurse? So
Yeah, so Prakriti, I would suggest that you send your documents to us. We will be very happy to help you. You can send it to hello@nursify.co.uk or send it to Anup directly, anup@nursify.co.uk. Maybe you can type the email, Anup. Um, Usually, through the LinkedIn process, you may not be able to get a job because let's put it this way, the hospitals don't know you. Okay. But Nova Scotia, I know, has been hiring pretty aggressively. So send your documents and we will be happy to help you to connect you to the right hospital in Nova Scotia itself. Or if you look for other province, I think those should be possible as well. So please send your documents and hope you cleared your NCLEX. I guess you have because that's why you have registered with Nova Scotia. So please send your documents and we'll be very happy to help you. Hope this answers your question. If not, you can always speak up, Prakriti.
great. Yes, sir, definitely. So Prakriti, I'm just dropping the email address, which is hello@nursify.co.uk or anup@nursify.co.uk, where you can drop your series and we'll get that started from there. Great. All right. So moving forward, so there are a lot of nurses, who plan to travel abroad, but the kind of communication skills, the kind of soft skills and adaptability which is required is very different from India to US or Canada or Australia or UK. So what are some of the strategies that nurses can use to develop their soft skills such as communication, teamwork, adaptability, and which are essential for success in Canada healthcare setting? So how can we help them, or how can they develop these kind of skills?
Yeah, so I think, look, first of all, be natural, be yourself. I think some of the people try to fake the accent. I don't think is required on the communication side. I'll be very candid with you. Okay. Everybody has an accent. I could say I mean, Indians have Indian accent. Of course, somebody in Canada, I won't call it neutral accent. I'll call them they have a Canadian accent, right? Or a French will have a French accent. So I would say speak naturally. Um, Coming to communication skills, I think couple of ways you can do it. Of course, approach a communication skills training provider. We have a partner EAS tutor. You can reach out to them who can help you. Number one, I think more importantly, develop some active listening skills um, for a more productive patient-centered dialogue. So that when a patient is trying to explain you things, you are able to not just hear but listen. I think that would help. The other thing you may want to consider, I think in most cases, because you need to communicate in English, and I assume you've done your IELTS or OET exam, I think OET, if you haven't done, do the medical specific English exam, prepare for it, and you will be 99% or 90% plus okay. Okay, you don't have to write thesis in Canada or UK or wherever you go. So knowing the right vocabulary, right words relating to your profession, which is nursing and healthcare, I think should be fine. So brush up that. Teamwork, I would say you can participate and volunteer in some activities which will help you foster that teamwork better. So volunteer for your any of the opportunities in the healthcare setting. So for example, it could be organizing a marathon, it could be taking care of some cancer patients with the team members, or could be anything else. So I think volunteer for activities that can certainly bring you up to speed on teamwork. Yeah, and teamwork is not only about having a slide says together everybody achieves more and putting it up in front of you. I think you have to practice. I think it's about how you behave, how you walk the talk, how do you help your colleagues when they're in trouble, how do you take care of patients, how are you able to marshal troops when you're not a leader or manager and you're being an active team player, or when you're able to play a simple role. For example, if you're a nurse and one of your other nurse is late for duty for some very general personal reason, are you standing by for her? Are you being a substitute for that person till the time she comes in? That's teamwork. Okay. So practice that through volunteering process. And I would say adaptability is something that's a longer term journey, if I may call it that way. So I would probably engage in different settings. I think UK has a OSCE exam, but Canada probably does not. But I would say practice on dummies. You can practice some stuff on dummies in a OSCE style. And learn more about the patient care standards in Canada. Okay, there's enough material available on the net. You can also look at NNAS. You can also look at other sites, and you will be fine. So communication, I won't stress over, but have a right partner who can help me. 2, teamwork. Do through volunteer activities, and adaptability. Of course, you should try in different settings. Try to serve different patients in different settings to make sure you can build your adaptability skills. Because let me tell you, most people will, learn very, very fast once they land in a new country because there's no other choice. Okay, uh, uh, to be very frank with you, but I think if you keep an open mind, if you keep an great attitude, I think then uh, the chances of you succeeding are very very high in a new culture. So I think uh, both, and of course communication, unless you can communicate in a setting. Um, in a different environment, you won't be able to succeed. So I think communicating is very, very important. Um, uh, and all the strategies I talked about, I think you should pay due attention to be successful in a new country.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you so much, sir, for answering this question. And I am sure using these strategies and ways to develop their soft skills, a lot of
Right.
nurses can get a hand, can handle the the problems they face while they relocate or while they go to a different country. But moving forward, sir, there are certain kind of mistakes as well which these nurses make while taking such sort of decisions. So can you please tell what could be those mistakes when they are applying for jobs in Canada, and how can they be avoided? And yeah.
Yeah, so I think a couple of things. Before that, I'll take one more question on the chat. I think somebody's asking about UK NHS, although this webinar is about Canada. I think let me take that. So Priyanka, uh, the honest answer to your question is UK NHS recruitment is dead right now. Okay, I don't know any other way to say it, because I will be probably sugarcoating and lying if I don't tell you the truth. It's been dead for last 1 year. Uh, Likely scenario when this will open up, maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months. Quite frankly, I don't have an exact answer. Okay, but it is going to come back at some point in time. When, I don't know. You can try two things. I don't know what specialty you have, but if you are a theater nurse, I think send your resume to us. We can try this for a private hospital, which still not uh, the job request or demand from these private hospitals still trickling in. I would underline trickling in. So once in a while we do get requirements, and we'll be happy to support that. Second thing, what you can look at, Priyanka, is try for other markets like Canada or Australia. They'll be more happy to take you. That will be my humble suggestion to you, because I wouldn't wait for UK forever. Okay, that would be my advice to you. Hope I answered your question. If you still want to know more, happy to respond to your chat, or you can put this on chat as well. Okay, so coming back to question, common application mistakes and how to avoid them. I think number one mistake, if I may call it that way, that the resumes are all over the place. Okay, I think your application should be apt for the respective job openings. Okay, so and it should be tailored, right? So if you, for example, if you're applying for a registered nurse, medical surgical, and you have worked in surgical ICU, I think you have to highlight the kind of cases you manage so that you become a candidate for medical surgical ward. You need to make sure that you highlight your roles and responsibility very, very clearly. You want to make sure that you have a great, impeccable cover letter, right? Which should say, hey, I'm a medical surgical nurse with so many years of experience, blah, 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 committed, patient, dedicated, hardworking, blah, 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 and talk about the cases that you have dealt with. Okay, this is how I interview a lot of people every month. Okay, a lot of nurses And we have spoken to thousands of nurses between me and Anup. And I would say uh, we have probably, not to brag, but I think we've probably seen all the good and the bad kind of resumes, right? So the only way for um, the only way for uh, interviewer to judge you first is your resume. And if that doesn't speak for itself, or that is not of a high quality, then I think your chances of, you know, you're not helping the interviewer, let's put it that way, to hire you. Two, I think at times we are uh, overdwell on the technical skills, right? Nobody cares, honestly. I mean, if you made the interview list and if you have worked in a good hospital, tertiary hospital, most likely, then I think you have the experience. Nobody's going to test you on a technical skill. Like, which medicine you'll give if I have fever? Of course, paracetamol, right? So the I think overemphasizing on technical skills in interview or anything doesn't help. Um, I would rather, for an international environment, I think I would rather highlight skills like teamwork, adaptability, how do I bring, cultural adaptability, and prove to them that you are the best candidate, right? So not so much focus on technical skills. I would probably focus on soft skills, and there are ways to build those skills, and we are here to help you. Okay. Um, the other thing I would say, the lack of connect. I think one of the attendees was mentioning just now uh, that they applied direct and didn't get anything. Don't do that. Okay. Um, I think build networks of credible agencies who can help you. Versify being one, but I'm sure there are others as well, right? So reach out to a credible agency who can push your case. Okay. Imagine if the hiring manager is 10,000 kilometers away and they don't know you and you're not a celebrity, right? They won't be able to find out more about you, right? So networking with the right agencies will always help you, or networking with your friends, in that respective country will always, help. Um, so just to uh, summarize, I think customize your resume and cover letter for the respective job, um, and position it in the right way. I'm not saying lie in the resume, but polish and positioning is the right thing to do. Lot of the employers are looking for how great a team player you are, how will you adapt to culture, how will you, um, uh, you know, uh, what kind of leadership skill you can show. So highlight those skills in an international environment than your technical skills, right? And I can't emphasize more the importance of networking and reaching out to the right agencies. I think if you find a right agency, they can, one, if you find a bad agency and pay them, quite a fair bit of amount, and you still don't get the service, you are to be blamed after this advice. Okay. But I would say, have the right agency help you and guide you through the process so that, your chances of hiring are much, much better than, the other people. So these are kind of uh, not just application mistakes. I think just the issues in general I talked about, which can, if you work on these and avoid these, then I think your chances of getting hired are very, very high versus otherwise.
Great, sir. Very well said, sir. Thank you so much. And I can't agree more with you because the importance of enhancing the CV. I mean, I know it so much better because we keep on, struggling to get the updated CVs to present to the hospitals, because it is your very first impression on the client as well, on the hospital as well, because through that only they analyze your basic profile. And to make sure that your CV is in place, you need to make sure you get the right accurate information in there, and the right kind of help you need to get your CV updated. And to get there are certain kind of job readiness things and job readiness programs that you should focus upon. So sir, my next question is, how can nurse improve their job readiness by focusing on both technical and non-technical aspects, such as cultural adaptation, understanding patient care, or maybe providing the best details about their profile? So making like could be a whole personality development, which involves to get the best jobs.
So I think, yeah, there are various support programs for nurses in terms of job readiness, and to me, the job readiness is all about not just about resume. Excuse me. So it's not just about resume, or it's not just about the cover letter. I think it's about um, the complete package. Uh, in order for you to be successful, as I said, engage an agency who can help you. But uh, the the paperwork, the process, the credentialing, the and the this I won't say display, but demonstration of soft skills that you have to provide. I think it is very important uh, to engage a partner who can help you with the process. We have thousands of nurses every year uh, to go to Canada. So I think you should take advantage of Nursify's program. And this will include a couple of things. Number one, exam preparation, which is IELTS or OET or even NCLEX. So that if you clear, once you pass NCLEX, you can go for licensing process. Second thing is you need to make sure that you have the right coaches or people who can help you with even simple things like interview skills, right? How to present yourself, how to um, uh, how to attend virtual interviews. Okay, um, hopefully you can see how Anup and I have been conducting these sessions. Uh, you know, the professionalism that is required uh, to attend a virtual interview, whether it's being on time, whether it's um, having the right infrastructure like internet, and also following the right protocols and etiquettes for interview. These small little things, right? Uh, just to give an example, if I am in an interview and if I am looking the some other way and not even looking into the camera or the eyes of the interviewer, not of course physically, but I think uh, the interviewer might feel that I'm not interested in them, right, in the job. So right from it's very, very important that right from CV building to resume to how to answer your questions to uh, how do you actually um, learn the tricks and trade of tips and tricks of uh, appearing for the right interview. And in addition, I think some of the soft skills we talked about, teamwork, adaptability, cultural orientation, um, that is um, must to have, must to succeed in that particular country like Canada. Uh, for example, simple things like I think all of us, if we drive in our country, we know in emerging markets, there's no right of way, there are no rules, and honking happens, right? But if you look at any of these Western world, right, the pedestrians have a right of way, which means if a pedestrian is crossing the road, the car stop. Okay, it's as simple as that, and I won't say it's a crime, but uh, it's a general etiquette that one needs to give right of way to pedestrians. That's simple cultural thing, right? But if you look at uh, some of the emerging market trends, uh, this is not even practice as an idea. Secondly, I think the uh, the etiquette and the courtesy with thank yous and sorry, not just in Britain, but I think Canada, US. I think one needs to know some of that stuff. So I think cultural adaptability, how to work as a team, how do we show that uh, we are going to be the best team player and we're going to adapt to the culture very very quickly. I think is an important piece of software skills that one need to learn. And so it's about your exam preparation, which is IELTS, OET, communication skills. Two, it's about building your resume. It's about knowing the credentialing and licensing process. It's about building soft skills. And it is very important that, you have a good career coach, which means a company or agency that can help you with this whole process, right from finding you a job to coaching you on interview, resume building, licensing, credentialing. Because let me tell you, you can't do it alone. Okay. Um, so, uh, you know, our team will be very happy to help you in case you want to reach out to us. Um, you know, you can always write to hello@Nursify or send it to our team members directly, and they will be very, very happy to help you. And I think, it is absolutely important that you get that help because this is once in a lifetime investments you're going to make, uh, and that is for uh, that's for your benefit. It is not going to help anybody else but you, because wherever you are in the world, when you go to Canada, I'm sure your salary is going to be more than 10 to 15 times of where you are. Okay, so it's for your benefit, and I think to me the career readiness is combination of all these things that must be done or must be prepared to get ready for jobs in Canada, for that matter, any country, but Canada in particular. And if you are not doing that, I think you're probably uh, missing out on a very big opportunity that you are certainly going to miss.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for such valuable information. I'm sure this is going to be a great help for our audience. So, before moving forward to our last question of the webinar, I would request our audience, in case if you have any questions, any doubts or queries, please don't hesitate to put it forward in the chat box, or you can drop your queries to anup@nursify.co.uk or hello@nursify.co.uk, which is mentioned in your chat box as well. So my last question, sir. So it's, as you mentioned, it is very important to get the right career coach, to get the right person to help you. So are there any programs available, in the market to provide comprehensive support for nurses, for preparing for the Canadian job market, or for that matter, any job market, including exam preparation, interview coaching, or soft skills development?
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of programs available. I think, as I said, it's not just about giving you a package. I think, or giving you an answer to every question. I think it's about the whole package. As I said, the job readiness is all about searching the right role, uh, making sure you have the right resume and the tools to get ready, making sure you can get license done, making sure you can demonstrate your soft skills, etc. So reach out to us. I think Nursify will be very happy to help you. Um, we have more than 300 plus trainers who are expert in a lot of these programs and would be happy to help you. That's one. But you can also look at um, you know in the various stages of the process. You can also look at uh, websites like LinkedIn, um, a placement program like the direct hiring, and you can also reach out to unions in Canada uh, if you have access to them. But I think going to an agency like Nursify, or you can reach Nursify directly, we will be very happy to help you. As I said, it's not about just giving you uh, ad hoc information to get through. I think it's a complete package, which means during the job search, we can get you the right employer and the right hospital based on your competency. We can make sure that not just the job search, we can help you negotiate your salary, resume building, and interview process. Two, we can mentor you to, with the right and connect you to the right people, including some of your Canadian counterparts or Canadian nurses who could be available to help you as an idea. And of course, we can provide you the placement assistance program where, we would find the job for you. What you need to do is complete the administrative process and then go for interview and do it well there, right? So yeah, these are kind of programs available. Go to the trusted people who can help you during the process and who don't run scams. So Nursify has been in the market for now last 3 years, and I think we have helped thousands of nurses uh, achieve their international job dreams. So you can rely on this.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for taking all the questions for today. And I believe it was really helpful for the audience as well. And guys, if you have any questions, please put forward in the chat box or drop it to the email address which is mentioned there, and we will happy to take all of it. So once again, sir, thank you so much for being here and sharing this valuable information with our audience. And I'm sure our audience have a good idea about what they need to do, what they don't have to do. So thank you so much once again, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And I think as I said earlier, you need to make sure you invest in the process. The job readiness, if I may call it that way, is a complete journey and not just a package than just appearing for interview. I think a partner who can help you in the whole credentialing, licensing, interview skills, job search, soft skills preparation, cultural adaptability are very, very important. And that's why I call it job readiness, because you are probably going to get one, maximum two chances of applying. And uh, and you need to do your best. You need to put your best foot forward in getting the job. So keep that in mind. With that, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best in your job search. And if there's anything our team can do, feel free to reach out to us at hello@nursify.co.uk. Thank you.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, audience, for your presence today. And all the best for your future, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.